Hello and welcome to this edition of Now You Novi. I am here once again sitting in for Cheryl. She's taking care of some business for the city. As always, she is the #1 advocate for our Novi residents. But I am here with a group of new friends from Novi High School. And I'm not going to try and remember their names because I am horrible with names. But there's a little friendly competition going on. They are another group from the HOSA organization, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves, and then we're going to get into what they're here for.
My name is Sari Organti. I'm a sophomore, and I'm 16 years old, and I go to Novi High School.
My name is Avni Rohit. I'm a sophomore. I'm 15 years old, and I also go to Novi High School.
My name's Neha Bolaram, and I'm 15 years old, and I'm also a sophomore that goes to Novi High School.
All right, now let's get into this competition. You are with HOSA, and we just had another group from HOSA. So tell us what your group is working on for HOSA.
So Hygiene for Hope is a promotional campaign, obviously part of HOSA, and our event is called Community Awareness, where we chose a topic, which is hygiene, like with our name, and we basically promote good hygiene habits, and we try to increase the access to products that maybe a lot of people don't have. And I think that the reason that we chose hygiene as our topic is because we did a lot of research and studies. We talked to healthcare professionals, and we found that 5% of people worldwide wash their hands properly, which is crazy because that means that the other 95 people are not washing their hands properly. And
I've seen them.
Yeah, I think this is something that we've all learned, like from preschool all the way to like our days now. And the fact that 95% of people are not washing their hands properly just shows that this is like hygiene is something that everyone believes that they follow, but they actually don't.
So with hygiene, you don't mean just hand washing. What other aspects of hygiene are you guys focused on?
We noticed that hygiene plays a part into every aspect of your life, and there's many different types of hygiene. Mm-hmm. There's things like personal hygiene, oral hygiene, sleep hygiene. So if we were to focus on something like sleep hygiene, it would be like changing your pillowcases and your sheets every 2 weeks so that you have a clean space to sleep in. Or if we talk about food hygiene, like washing your produce before you eat it, making sure that you don't eat expired food, just take care of yourself. It's just so many different parts of your life that hygiene applies to, and when you realize that they all come together, it's just hygiene is the main factor.
Speaking of washing your fruits and stuff, I have seen people touch every single fruit and they squeeze it and they fill on it to make sure it's the right one, and they go through 10 of them and they don't buy any, and I'm sitting there watching bro, I really wanted an apple today, but I cannot because you just literally touched all of them. And I don't know if your hands are clean.
Oh yeah.
I used a little baggie as a glove, so I never actually touch the fruits and vegetables. Just a little tip for you guys. See?
Yeah.
I'm thinking, right? So tell us a little bit more about what you guys are working on, specifically with HOSA and the competition.
So basically in our school, at Novi High School, we've done multiple different presentations and medical related clubs in our school. Mm-hmm. And those include Red Cross and Girls in White Coats, which are both medical related chapters and clubs at Novi High School. And we gave presentations and different tips to these, obviously they're healthcare, people that want to go into medicine. So they should know all of these things and why it's really important to maintain good hygiene, which is why we went and gave presentations. And we tried to further have our outreach to go to even more people that want to go into the medical field.
So the other group that we had on was Unplugged, right? And they talked about unplugging from devices and that sort of thing. And you look like you kind of want to tackle one of them. Is that part of the competition or no?
No. Wait. I mean, I would hope not.
So it's a friendly competition.
Yeah.
Very good. So what else do you want to add?
Okay, like she said, the personal hygiene stuff, sleep hygiene, food hygiene, all of this is highlighted on our Instagram page, and you can find us at hygiene.for.hope on Instagram. And basically, we don't just talk about the outreaches that we've done, but we talk about a bunch of daily reminders that you can use in your everyday life to amp up your hygiene habits. Mm-hmm. And it's just a good place for anyone. And we generated over 50,000 views through Instagram itself. Yeah.
Wow.
and it's our primary platform for like anything. And we also, online-wise, we've also started our own Spotify podcast. And we've done episodes about like our introduction. We've talked about myth versus fact. We've talked about like hygiene around the world, and some of the things we've done.
So what is your Spotify's the name of the podcast, Hygiene for Hope?
Yeah. If you just search up Hygiene for Hope on Spotify, you can find us.
We'll link to it from our podcast.
Adding on to like outreaches, like online wise, we also create a website. You can find us at HygieneNovi.site. And in this website, there are a lot of like different outreaches that we've done, as well as like simple tips that people can use to maintain good hygiene. And I think one of the most important things, one of the most like proudest moments that we've had on our website is having an AI chatbot on our website. We were able to integrate that into our website. So this helps like give people factual guidance based on like hygiene tips, like if you had a simple question. And it's called like Hygiene Buddy, as well as it has FAQs, like frequently asked questions that many people might wonder, and also like survey results, as well as like we previously mentioned, we had conversations with healthcare professionals, which included Veena Ramana, who was a former dentist and a current clinical researcher, Laura Finch, who is a hygiene specialist, and Mark Kessel, who is a public health specialist. And having these conversations with all these individuals and like healthcare related people helped us realize how much it really is important to maintain good hygiene. And they gave us like statistical data, some things that were really important, especially because they work in that field. And we use some of their quotes to include into our website to like even further show that it's not just like what we searched up, but this is like factual data. Like we can see this in real life, and everyone can too.
And all of those conversations are on the website?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. All right, so we're going to wrap up. We're running out of time, but before we go, I need each of you to give me a tip. Now, you can't cheat because we already got the hand washing tip. So we'll start with you. Give us one hygiene tip.
One hygiene tip for oral hygiene is the 2x2 rule, which is basically brushing your teeth twice a day at a 45-degree angle for 2 minutes every single day.
Okay, Avni.
Another one would be to change your toothbrush every 3 months, because I know some people, they do it just like every 6 months or once a year, but your toothbrush is like a place that harbors so much bacteria even if you let it dry. So changing it every 3 months is like a must.
Well, I think my tip would be don't wash your hands if it looks dirty. There's so many germs on every surface of everything, and I feel like even if it looks dirty, obviously you should wash your hands, but still continue that habit.
So even if your hands look clean,
Yeah.
they may not be, so still wash them.
Like your phone screen.
It's, yeah.
Yeah.
Because you breathe on it and you got
Those apples.
Yeah. Those apples, right?
Yeah.
That's funny. All right. Well, thank you very much, ladies. We really appreciate you coming on the podcast, and thank you for educating our community. Thank you for all that you're doing at school and in the community. We really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. So now we have to wrap it up. All right. So we're going to look at the center camera. And what are you going to say? And now you know.
Bye.